Has there ever been like a thing that you learned later on in life that you were pronouncing wrong or just like saying wrong your entire life?
Yeah. One just happened to me recently. Okay. You all know the phrase play it by ear?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like I always thought it was play it by year, like a year in your life, like play it by year, not play it by ear. And for some reason, it always made sense to me because I thought like play it by year meant like we'll deal with it when like it's like another kind of form of like cross that bridge when we get there or kind of thing, or like we'll I think I still got the general sense of the phrase because like play it by ear is like we'll figure it out kind of, right? And that's, but I just found out recently.
Wait, when did you find this out?
Like a couple weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
This was like recent. I was like my whole life I thought it was play it by year, and I still say it because I'm just like I don't care.
Yeah, that's insane.
But everyone else is like, Ethan's an idiot.
But also you can't tell. Like if I say play it by ear, you can't tell that I'm saying it differently.
Yeah,
it sounds
that
very
is
similar.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound very similar.
I do that with
stupid if I tell them.
I do that with like song lyrics. Like if I don't know the lyrics of a song, I'll sing something vaguely vaguely similar, but I'll mumble it, right? Like twinkle twinkle little star. Like,
wait, Mario, what were you saying?
Oh, well, this is not like when I was a kid. My parents would always refer to blankets as kumats because, like,
oh yeah,
right. So I thought that a blanket was just a kumat. Like I thought that was like an interchangeable word. I didn't understand it was a different language. So when I was at like a sleepover at like a friend's house when I was a kid, I'd be like, "Hey, do you have any like kumats?" And they'd look at me and they'd be like, What are you talking about? I'm like, well, like, like the stuff to put on you when you're feeling cold. They're like, you mean like a blanket? And I was like, yeah, like a blanket, a kumat. And they're like, I've never, and I'm like, what? So I talked to my parents. They were like, that it's just the word for blanket in Tagalog. And I was like, oh shit. So like, yeah that was something didn't realize.
That reminds me. I'm sorry, Ralph, can I expose you for a little bit?
Yeah, expose me. Do it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the story of that my mom always tells. Of like, I don't know if it was grade 1 or like kindergarten, but she always tells this story of, cause like growing up, like I'm assuming, well, this happened with like me and Ralph, but like we're like English words and Tagalog words were used like interchangeably, and we're never taught like the difference between languages, right? So you would use like Tagalog words and then like normally, and like obviously English speaking people wouldn't understand what you're saying, but then like you just didn't know that it wasn't English what you were speaking because it was just part of your vocabulary. So I'm pretty sure in kindergarten Ralph was like crying at some point, and he went to the teacher and he kept saying like, I have sipon, which means like snot.
Oh.
But the teacher just did not like understand what he was saying because he just kept like, I have sipon.
That's so sad.
That's
I just wanted to blow my nose, man.
But yeah, it's really interesting. Also, I don't know how they would like, but yeah, I don't know how parents would teach you like differences between languages. I guess that's something.
Yeah. I guess we just have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, you just have to learn the hard way like that when you have sipon and you can't. What's up, cowards or gooshies or whatever else we call the listeners of this podcast? We haven't called them cowards in a long time. Yeah, that was a thing like earlier on.
I
still call them cowards.
If I'm being honest, when I first started watching No One's Gonna Listen and you guys called everyone cowards, I kind of got offended. Like, I low-key was sitting there like, oh, kind of don't want to watch anymore.
Oh, that's why no one listens. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They hear we call them cowards like the first like 2 seconds, and then they immediately turn off the podcast. They're like, God.
Well, I mean, it's because I was a coward.
Not gonna say it.
You were a coward. You were a coward.
I was a coward. I was too afraid.
now you are on the podcast as a co-host. So like, you
really
went from being offended by
Really,
it.
you're a coward if you don't watch.
I was
Yeah.
a hater, and now I'm a lover.
Yeah, enemies to lovers with GOOSHLEMS. With the podcast.
Exactly.
Anyways,
250k words, slow burn, AO3. Okay, anyways.
thank you. My name is
You're
Kristoffer
welcome.
Bradley Cruz. I will be hosting this episode today. Who are my fellow co-hosts with me? Y'all know the order.
Yes. I'm next. I'm Ralph. Passing it on to...
I'm Ryan.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm Ethan.
And I'm Marina.
And today we have a very special guest. It's been a while since we've had a guest on this podcast. It's someone we met a few years ago, and as we mentioned last episode, we haven't really talked with her that much, so it's gonna be very interesting to have her on this podcast. But you can introduce yourself. Hello.
Hi, my name's Claudia. I do a podcast with my sister called the My Sister Knows Why podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nice. Well, because we don't know you super well, not to say that like you're not included in this conversation, but like I want to get to know you a bit more. So, me and Ryan met you in, when was that? Oh my God, that was like
2018.
Grade 12, so I think that was 3 years ago, right?
3 years ago.
Seems like an eternity.
April
Yeah.
2018. Or March
2018?
2018.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
2018.
Okay.
it's around there.
Yeah, so it was like I don't even remember what it was really. It was like a film / television like skills competition.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Me and Ryan were sent there from our film teacher in our school.
Well, really, it was just skills in general. So, like, we were just participating in like the film aspect of it.
Yeah.
But there were other aspects. Like, there was like woodworking
Yeah.
and like
And
welding.
we met at the
Oh.
regionals, I think. So that
Yeah,
was like
we
the
met at
second
regionals.
part of the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first part, Ryan, where we saw like the awards ceremony afterwards and then didn't hear our names. It's like, oh, I guess we didn't win. And then the next day we went to school. It's like, oh, you moved on to regionals. And we were like, what? It's like, yeah, they just
remember
didn't
it's-
announce the Catholic schools. And I'm like, oh, okay.
What?
We weren't even at the award ceremony because we went home.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
Oh.
they this is what happened. They gave us a coupon for like, it was like Sears
Cobb's.
or yeah. So it was like
Cobb's?
Sears or whatever.
Good.
And like they gave us like a voucher for like whatever buffet they had there. And we'd been there. Like I think for that day we woke up at what, like 5 a.m. to drive up to like go to this like first round, and we were like, all right, let's just get out of here. Let's just go home.
Yeah, we
Cash
spent,
our
like,
Cobb's coupon.
we spent
So-
like hours there, and then we just like, it's like, oh, you can wait till 8 or 9 p.m. at night. Wait around here in this like random ass town that's like a 40-minute drive from like our house, or you don't have to. They're just gonna like stream it online. And then me and Ryan were like, yeah, we don't want to attend this.
So all I remember is us leaving, going to Cobb's, picking up Danielle
Hmm.
because,
Yeah.
and then when we went, I remember us in the Cobb's parking lot, and I was in the front seat with you, obviously, and you're driving, and my backpack. We were listening to the radio, and I bumped the radio with my backpack by accident, and it hit the tuner, and it just went to static. But it was, the reason I bumped it is because Kris had like gone over the curb or something.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
He was turning.
I was like, I ran over a curb. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and my thing hit it as he went over the curb. So from our perspective, he hits a curb, and then the music just stops. and then I just went, "Oh my god!" The radio got scared, and then we laughed for like 15 minutes, and then went home, and we were like, "Let's watch the live stream." And we watched the live stream. And we were like, "This is." We didn't hear our names because they
We're
did
just
they
like,
did the
oh.
film thing, and they were just like, public school number 1, public school number 2, and public school number 3. Thank you. And we're just like, all right. I mean,
It's like, yeah,
Lord,
we
Lord be
didn't
with
win.
you, I guess. And we just assumed we lost.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, on the announcements, our film teacher comes on the thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, shout out to Ryan and Kris for moving on to regionals." And it's like 8 a.m. on a Friday morning, and I'm just like, "Huh?" Like,
wait, was I even? I don't even think I was.
You weren't even there.
I was late. I was late for school that
no,
day.
you
so
had
I
a
didn't even
spare,
know.
didn't you? You had a spare first period.
Yeah, I did.
And I remember
I
like
just got a
seeing
text
you.
from Ryan. He's like, "Yo, we made it." I'm like at home. Like what?
Like they didn't have the courtesy to. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my bit of the story.
So we met you during that, but like, and we had like a little conversation there, but I guess like my question is like, what do you like want to go into? Like what I'm assuming something like media, like me, Ryan, and Marina are like we want to be in film, and then Ethan wants to be in acting. Ralph wants to be Ralph.
Wow. Just
Ralph's
Hey, I want to be a doctor, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Ralph wants to, Dr. Ralph.
Yeah.
He wants to actually make the money here. Yeah.
I was gonna say Ralph's actually gonna be
Exactly.
successful, and we're
Yeah.
just like,
Stop.
So I just wanted to know like what you want to be.
I feel like I'm being interviewed. I mean, like obviously, but like a job interview.
Yeah, we're pressuring you right now.
this is for your spot on this podcast.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
ready. I'm ready.
We'll cut the cameras if you say the wrong
Yeah.
answer.
we kick you from the
Pull the
the
plug.
meeting.
So after high school, I did a 2-year diploma for television videography broadcast stuff at Humber.
Nice.
And then I was supposed to do an internship. I did an internship at Media Pro, which is like a broadcast company. Because my set goal was like, I'm going to do TV. Like, I'm going to do TV, specifically sports TV. And then, COVID happened. So then I was supposed to get a job in the summer with them. And then they just completely shut down. So I'm like, oh, nice. Okay. But then I used my free time and I went to Sheridan for marketing. So kind of like going the path of broadcast / marketing would be ideal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you also have a podcast,
I do.
as you mentioned before. I actually listened to it. I haven't listened to every single episode.
That's
but
okay.
I have
I'll forgive
listened
you.
to. I have listened to a couple episodes, especially like on my car rides. Like I had like a film shoot like a couple months ago, and then on the car ride there, I would just put your podcast on while I drove. So, so it's very interesting. But I just wanted how did you start that? How did you start the whole podcast thing?
So I have 2 other sisters, both older than me, and they're both in like science-y programs, and I'm just like, no, thank you. So we had all kind of talked about like starting a podcast because they're really into podcasts, and I wasn't fully into it, which is weird. Like I was more of a listen to music person. But then it was the summer and we weren't doing anything, so we were like, hey, let's do podcasts. So then we're like, okay, we want to do it. And then we're like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Because you can't have a good podcast if you're not going to, like, at least know your niche.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's, like, an ongoing thing that I just don't know anything, like, when it comes to science things. So I'd always be like, okay, but what does that mean? Or, like, how does this work? So my sister Ange was like, oh, let's do that. Like, it's like I know things and I teach you things, and then you teach me things about, like, technology because you're knowledgeable in that. Yeah, and then we were coming up with names. There were a couple ones, and then we kind of stuck with the My Sister Knows Why.
That's cool.
And then we went from there.
That's cool. You have like 42 episodes, and we're at like this is the 48th episode right now. I'm like you've had the podcast for like a year, and you're already like you're already gonna like surpass us in episodes. Just so funny. You're very
We've been
consistent.
pretty good at keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
Just because it was also something that like made our life normal. Like there was especially during COVID of that time where it was just like everyone's at home, no one's doing anything, weird times. So it was to have a nice like normalcy thing and sticking to a schedule. So
do you think you would have
yeah,
like
it's good.
started it if it weren't for COVID?
Probably not, just because like no one has time when
Yeah.
if I actually started a job full time at the place that I was going to, like I wouldn't have time for that. My sister wouldn't have time for that. So probably not.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I feel like have you always been close with your sister? Because I feel like if I started a podcast with my sister, it would be like it would not. I mean, like we have a good relationship. Like we hang out and stuff. Me and my sister. But I feel like we wouldn't be able to like just sit down and just talk for like an hour, or like or just for like yeah.
We've gotten closer for sure over the past year. Just like we were close before, because we're only 2 years apart. But definitely gotten closer because you kind of like we choose to do this every week. So if we get into an argument, like we kind of have to get over it pretty quickly because it's like, oh, we're recording tonight. So if you're mad at me, like, I'm sorry, let's move on. And it's just being able to communicate better, I guess, with each other.
Yeah. So do you mean like there are episodes where like you like had a fight previously and you had to like go sit through the episode just like pretending it didn't happen?
Pretty much, yeah. It's been exactly like that. It's just like we've gotten to a small argument and it's like, okay, we gotta record, so put your acting face on, like like make it look like you're interested in what I'm saying.
Very professional.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, how we met you is actually very, very interesting. How Ryan and I, so we met each other again. We mentioned we met each other at the regionals of the skills competition. Except like we didn't have any like interaction with you or like anyone else who was part of the skill competition in like for like the first couple hours until
until that's the key to this
until like the break section where we were done doing our little like our short videos. And then they're like, well, like you have to wait like what, like at 2 hours for like this
or
like
more.
For like the judging process or whatever. Which so we were like, okay, and we were just put into a room with just all the other kids that like in the competition, in like the video competition, and then we were just talking, I guess. I don't even remember.
I don't know how it started.
I don't know how it started either.
It wasn't even talking. We were just kind of vibing
Yeah.
in this room.
Yeah.
Like imagine Kris and I talking to people. Kris, we don't talk to people.
Exactly. That's why I'm surprised. I don't know how that happened.
And then, like, I don't know if we were just, like, someone talked to us or something. Because we talked about GOOSHLEMS for a bit.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And then
that self-promo.
eventually...
We had to self-promo.
We had to self-promo. That was the day we filmed the Danny Phantom video.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah.
That was, like, during the competition, too. Like,
yeah,
we
were doing ADR. We were doing ADR, and then we just started talking about Danny Phantom, and then we sang the theme song.
The theme song, yeah.
In the middle of Niagara College, or wherever we were filming.
Yeah, it was Niagara College.
Was it?
Yes.
So there was a specific person there. Not to give away his name, but his name was Owen. And
oh my god, Owen's gem.
Yeah.
I go to school with Owen, so I see Owen all the time.
That's
And
funny
he
because
just
James went to Humber. I think it was the last year
Right.
that I was there. I would like
That's
see
right.
James
Yeah.
around, like, oh my god. And he was in the film and television something program, and so we were always crossing paths. I'm like, I don't like this is weird. Like we barely interacted, but also like we were pretty cool when we hung out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's really wild? James texted me and when I was in my first year at uni, and he said, "Yo, you think I should go into film?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, go into it." And he was like, "I'm just testing my options and stuff." So like, glad to see he's doing that.
Yeah.
But as we were like hanging out in this like lecture hall or whatever, Owen is just like, "Let's all go to the mall."
Because he lived
Like,
there.
okay,
He lived
Yeah,
in
he lived
there.
there.
This like random, but then we were like this random man.
It's like, yeah. And this is
It's
like
like-
a random town near Niagara Falls, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, let's all go down to the mall. I'll take you guys there. We can just walk and we can go. And like, I don't know what it was, but we were all like, why
Yeah.
not? Strange man.
It's Owen.
Yeah.
And that's
But
how
once we
our
got
journey
to the
started.
mall, that's when it all went down.
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I don't
when
even
got
know
to
what we
the-
did.
When we got to the like, we all walked together, like this huge group of people that like had never before had never interacted with each other, acting like this huge group of friends and just like talking.
Yeah, we're all like talking and
Yeah.
laughing
and then like we arrive at the mall and we all just kind of split up into like our pairs and stuff, but still it was such a weird experience. Also, the mall was such a like it was like one of those malls you find in the small towns.
It reminded me
like,
of Woodbine. Just like very like low maintenance, but still like a mall.
It reminded
Yeah.
me
But, like,
of Dixie
you know-
Mall.
Dixie Mall. Yeah,
Isn't
it did
Woodbine-
give Dixie Mall vibes.
Sorry, isn't Woodbine the one with like the crazy park and everything inside?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
It's
okay.
been so long since I've been to Woodbine that all I remember there is like the amusement park. What, Ethan, you look confused. Do you know what that mall is?
No, I'm trying to think.
Reston.
Well, you know me, I don't know malls
Yeah,
very well.
Ethan's
I'm
only
trying-
been to like one mall in his
I've
entire
only been to Oakville Mall, for those who know me. No, wait, Woodbine, because I feel like I've heard of Woodbine. Where is it?
So
It's in
It's
Etobicoke.
yeah,
Oh,
It's like right
I don't
near
think I've
Humber,
been.
pretty much.
Because like I haven't been there either, so I don't know.
I used to go
anything.
there a lot as a kid, because my grandparents used to live in Etobicoke, and I don't know.
Mm.
I had birthday parties there.
Remember.
Very fun. Yeah, Ralph remembers. But like from what I recall from it, it's been so long since I've been there. It's like a mall, and then on like the top floor, it's like an indoor amusement park. But
Yeah,
like,
pretty
that's
much.
like
It hasn't changed.
yeah. Okay. That's nice to know. And like from what I remember, I think I've been there like when I was like an older kid, and then like half the ride just didn't fit me anymore. So I could not imagine how it would be like if I went now. Cuz like
I
they're all
had
for like
gone. Yeah, I'd gone not recently. It was when I was at Humber, and pretty much all the same. The only ride that was like viable for bigger children, adults. We went on the teacup ride, the
Oh.
one where you like spin.
yeah.
That was the only one we went on. I'm pretty sure the only one that was like actually able to be able to go on.
Ethan, why did you just down?
Yeah, I just
He's
saw
like,
him do it.
teacups.
No, I should have turned my camera off too. I had to sneeze.
Oh,
When-
because I didn't
Dab
sneeze.
sneeze.
I didn't
No, the
see. I
thing
know. I
is-
know you dab when you sneeze, but like I didn't see the sneeze. So
Oh, you didn't
for
see?
me, you just.
I
was
just thought
like-
you were randomly jabbing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant that like you had like this sudden urge to dab and you had to turn your camera off.
Yeah.
You were sitting there
Oh,
like,
Come
oh
with
god,
the urge.
I gotta
He's like
do
going
it.
through
I
withdrawals.
gotta-
He's like,
yeah.
I regret method acting with Dude Shabag because he's always
Yes.
with me now. I can't do basic tasks now without having to dab. I
Yeah.
sneeze, I dab. No, I just naturally like even like I do that. I do this extra hand because I'm extra, but like
Yeah.
I'll just do this even when I sneeze now because that's just the best way to do it
Yeah.
to stop the spread of bacteria.
yeah.
You know.
People in his, it's this that's important. It's this hand
Yeah.
motion that like.
Thank you, Ethan,
But-
for your service.
Sometimes I'll forget that I'm in public, so I'll be walking like across the street in front of all these cars, and I'll just be like, "Hoochoo!" and like people will just be like, "Huh," as I'm walking by. It's crazy.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, who's this guy think he is? Yeah.
I would love to go back to Woodbine though, just to see it, like purely just to see my childhood.
There used to be there's dinosaurs, right? There's like the big dinosaur things.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They are
I'll take
falling
your entire
apart, let me
stock.
tell you. They're like one just doesn't have a tail. It's kind of sad.
I would still just love to go. I would love to go back. But yeah, we were at this mall. I actually remember a story. Me and Ryan were walking around, and
I know what you're gonna
this-
say too.
This town is very how do I call it? It was very white. Just complete lack of color everywhere.
Fair.
In terms of the
I mean,
people. But I see like when we're walking throughout this mall, I see like this one Asian family, and I make a joke to Ryan. I'm like, "Yo, it's my family," and then we come closer, and it's literally like my cousins and like my uncle.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What?
And I was so shocked, but I was like, "Hi," but afterwards, I was like, "Ryan, that was legitimately my family."
Yeah. Ryan
That's
was
so
like,
good.
haha, good joke, Chris. And he's like, no, dude, that was seriously my family.
Oh, but
Hi,
yeah,
Tito.
yeah, it was like that. But
But wait, then it started getting scary because I remember we were in. This has nothing to do with your family.
yeah,
We were keep in mind we're trying to check the time because they were like
Yeah.
very strict. Like you have to be back at this building,
or else you're like
Or else you're
out of the
disqualified.
constitution. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
disqualified.
Jeez.
So we're like checking our watches and we're just walking. We're at like the bookstore or something, and then we just hear over the intercom, "Bing bong." Those few are part of the Ontario Skills Competition. Please return to the entrance.
Of the
And
mall?
We're like, of the mall. The mall like PA system called us, and we're like, that's the weirdest thing. Like, I guess we should go back to the entrance.
Yeah.
So Chris and I go back to the entrance, and it turns out that like Owen didn't want to leave any of us behind. Because you know, I mean, we're not from the town. Like we die. So
Google
just,
Maps doesn't exist.
yeah, Google Maps isn't
No.
real. So he went to like they had a phone on the wall, and you could call like the central office of the mall. And he just called them and was like, "Hey, can you call all these people back to the entrance?" And they were like, "Okay." So they called him. We go back, but we were missing two people.
One person.
It was two people. We only
knew the name
We
of
only
the
knew
one
one
person.
of the
Oh, yeah.
names.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
no.
That's true.
And their name was Carmen. And we were like, who? We were like, how do we get Carmen back? And especially since we don't know the other person's name. So Owen, in his infinite wisdom, takes the phone again and goes, "Hey, yeah, it's me again. Can you ask for Carmen and her friend to come back to
Oh
the front?"
my god, that's so embarrassing.
Sure enough, 30 seconds later, you hear like the bing bong. Can Carmen and her friend please return to the front of the mall? We sound like such assholes. Like we didn't learn the other person's name.
Yeah.
Come to find out they weren't even at the mall anymore.
We waited for a solid amount of time before we were like, okay, we need to start walking back, or else we're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And
It was
then
like, we
the
gotta
whole
wait
time
to
we're like, oh my
abandon them.
goodness, she's lost, she's gotten stolen, like something of that. And then we get back and she's sitting in the room, and we're like, huh?
She did not tell
When
us
did you
at all that
leave?
she was leaving. It was legitimately so sad. But
Jeez.
I remember we took a. I don't know who posted that photo, so I'll have to find it later. But we took a photo outside the mall and then added
Oh,
each other all
yeah.
on Snapchat without
Mhm.
Carmen because she wasn't in,
Yeah.
because she
Carmen was
wasn't
left out.
she wasn't part. Yeah, she left the group. So
Carmen and her friend were left
yeah,
out of the
Carmen
Yeah.
Snapchat exchange.
You know what's
We're
wild?
left out.
To this day, we don't know the friend's name.
yeah, we really don't.
The friend never existed. Oh.
I
think we have an Instagram group chat, and the group chat's name is "Where's Carmen?"
Oh my god, that
Oh my
exists?
God.
I literally completely forgot. Wait, I'm literally looking it up.
Didn't
right
we
now.
just send memes? Like that was the
Yeah.
whole point of that.
The first night we were like communicative, and then after that it was just memes. But we just kind of hung out for the rest of the day until someone made the comment that we were like the Breakfast Club.
Mhm.
Just a bunch of like, a bunch of people just like hanging out. We have nothing in common except for film, I guess.
Yeah.
So we all got each other's Snapchats, and we named
The
it Breakfast
Oh,
Club.
yeah,
our
we
group
did.
chat.
Yeah.
It is called the Breakfast Club to this day. And to this day, we only talk in it like once a year. And that is
Yes.
Once a
the
year.
anniversary
It's just
of the
the
On the
day.
memories.
anniversary of
Yeah.
us.
On the
It's like, wow, that was
anniversary of
great.
when we all
See you
met
guys next
each
year.
other. Yeah, it's literally what it is.
Literally
That's
what it is.
Our entire interaction. But
Yeah.
I remember also later on, because we would maybe for like the first like couple months we would like occasionally send like a message, and or like if there are any situations where we like ran into each other, like you would text in like the Breakfast Club thing, but I remember later Claudia advertised like that she had a play coming up, and I was just like, oh, like I'm into the plays. I'll go watch it. So, that's actually, that play is still near and dear to my heart, just because I went to that play with Danielle, who is still my girlfriend, but that night was our first date. So, so we saw your play on our first date, basically. So
that's so cute.
That's wholesome.
Aww.
So that's fun. And
I have no recollection of that specific night, just because it was. We had 3 different like viewings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one that was, but there was one of the nights where the girl. So a bunch of the main characters in the cast decided to go like 15 minutes before we were starting and go to McDonald's or something and get food. On their way back, they got into a car accident. So I'm freaking out because I was like, that's not a good idea. Like, you shouldn't go. We're starting in like half an hour, 15 minutes. And they're like,
Claudia
we'll
was
be
like,
super
don't
quick.
go, you're going to get in a car accident.
I can see the future.
Like, we'll be super quick. And I'm like, yeah, you better be quick. Like, you better quickly get back. So then the whole night I was like, as they were in the car accident, everyone was fine. Everyone got back in time. Show went on. But we had to delay the show for like 10 minutes or something. And the whole time I'm freaking out because I'm like, it's my fault. Like, I was telling them to speed and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But everything was
To
fine.
be fair, you told them not to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Did you tell the audience that like, hey, so we got to delay the play?
I don't
Or
remember
they just didn't know.
like what the excuse was, but we said like, hey, we're gonna start in like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
You know,
god.
the image that popped in my mind is it's like, you know, y'all have all of y'all seen Whiplash?
Oh
Yes.
Yes.
I have not.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, Ryan, you still haven't seen Whiplash?
I have not.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Well, okay, this isn't really a spoiler, but there's basically a scene where, like, the main character, because he's, like, obsessed with drumming, he's, like, he gets in a car crash because he's trying to make this, like, concert, basically. So, like, in my mind, I'm imagining, like, after this accident takes place, the leads of this show just crawl out of the car and they're like, you need to get to the theater now. And the people in the other car are like, no, you need to go to a hospital. They're like, no, we have to act. And they're just running down the street towards the theater.
They like start performing and they're like bleeding.
None of them can remember their lines. They're just like, yeah.
They have a concussion. They don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Chris,
Oh my
you did our play Rise while you were sick.
I did.
Oh,
and then
yes,
I won an
you did.
award.
Yeah.
Wait, you
flex
actually-
that.
Well deserved.
Damn,
When we
my
did
sick brother.
when we were at Sears, I was sick. I remember like I was like on the verge of like throwing up earlier that evening.
I sprinted to the dollar store to get you water.
Mm-hmm. I remember I had to take a walk. I was like, it was a lot. Like I was feeling like shit, and that's why the vlog that exists from that day, I'm in like 1 second of it because it was like the 1 hour where I felt okay, and that was like the first hour we were there at that school, and then like I just progressively got like more sick throughout the day, and then I went on, like, and I performed. And I think that actually like helped my performance, low-key, probably, because like I felt like shit and my character was supposed to feel like shit. So yeah.
When you told the story to me after, because I remember I saw you when you were taking your walk, because we were like the cast for our Sears show, we were in the classroom and I saw you and Ryan was there too. You walked past the window and you're like, hey, and I was like, wait, why are they outside? I didn't even think of it. But when you told me after, it sounded like, was it nerves or were you like actually like did
No,
something?
it wasn't nerves. Like I felt physically like ill.
Oh
like, I felt
shit!
sick.
Okay, I thought it was nerves, but
No.
you
You
were
weren't at
actually like
school the
full
next
on
day.
sick.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't go to school the next day because I felt bad. But yeah, no, it was
Damn.
not nerves. I obviously get nervous during like live performances, but like not to the point where I like feel physically sick, I think.
That'll happen to me sometimes. I remember when we did the Crucible, the second show we did, I like was close to throwing up before going out because I think I was just so scared. Because the show before, I had accidentally worn my glasses when I walked on, and like that haunted me for the second show.
Dude,
so,
but
like,
you played it off so well. I don't even know.
You did. I didn't even notice.
Wait, were you there, Marina?
Wait.
Was Marina? That was the
or maybe I did notice because he didn't have.
We didn't even know who you were, Marina. At that
you
point.
I was thinking. No. I was thinking about his latest show. The last one. Like he did.
Wait, which last one?
Romeo and
the
Juliet.
One with. No, the Peter Pan one, I think.
Oh yes. Yeah, no, that one I didn't wear my glasses.
Okay, cool.
One,
I spaced out and I thought we were talking about that one. Never mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, I didn't notice those because you weren't even wearing them.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
He was like, I'm never
Romeo
making
and
that
Juliet
mistake
one
again.
time. That was one of the Romeo and Juliet was one of the last times Chris and I went to like an event before the world ended.
Ooh,
Because
The
I remember us going.
The last
We don't.
Zuchkan live. Actually, no. I saw your other.
Wait, is that the show where you guys hung out with me before?
Yes,
like,
the one that we tried to get you tickets
Yeah!
for, but then they were out.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a story about that. Afterwards, Marina leaves, and we're sitting in like the box office, waiting for our tickets. And didn't someone come up and they reserved tickets? But they were like, "Weren't there 3 people in your party?" And they go, "Oh
We were
no,
like,
there's
"No,
only
only
2.
two."
And she goes, "Oh, just give the other ticket to someone then." And Chris and I were like,
Are you serious? I could
We're
have
like,
thought if
this-
I just
"This could be
stayed.
it." But you were like long gone by this point.
No.
It was like,
Yeah.
it was really tragic.
Oh, that's so
But-
sad.
All I remember from Romeo and Juliet is like us sitting, we're watching it, and we're just like, when's he coming out?
But
When's he coming out?
Specifically, when is he coming out as Romeo? Because, like,
Yeah.
he was out there, but he was playing other characters, and then like they would like switch like who was playing Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And then-
Oh.
And then when Ethan comes out as Romeo, we're like silently cheers.
Yeah.
After 2 hours, I finally can be Romeo.
Yeah.
Near the end of the show.
It's like one of
the
those
entire
things
time
where-
when you have a friend in like a live performance, you like only focus on them sometimes.
Yeah.
It was the entire time when you were like other characters, we were just looking at you.
he's ensemble member number 3.
Yeah.
And we're just like, Juliet, shut the fuck up.
I'm trying to watch. Yeah, just-
And Ethan's miming with a sword or something. He's like,
I was just standing there, just in the background.
Chris and I are watching Ethan fight, and we're just like, yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Good times.
But
Chris, what kind of topics do you have? Because
Well,
we're kind of leaving Ralph and Marina to the
well
to the
that
side.
that like I was gonna lead into with the whole Breakfast Club story. Have you ever have you ever
had a dream?
Have you ever like had a time where you like really connected with someone or like a group of people for a day and then just never talked to them?
Oh.
I don't know about that. I feel like that happens a lot in high school spontaneously, you know? Just
I
like
was
this,
gonna
that
say,
happened in high school, you know?
That's the high school experience,
Yeah.
man.
I think maybe just like with I guess I can't say like just for a day because like with like the cast of like the play I directed, like none of us really talk anymore, but like we went and we did the show and it was fun, so like I guess that kind of but it wasn't for a day because we did the show
Yeah,
like
you
over
had rehearsal. Yeah.
like we had rehearsals, so it wasn't like a whole thing. Oh, actually, no, that doesn't count either because that I was gonna talk about my hip hop class, like where I had like there's some people I knew and like we did a show like at the end of the year, like we did a whole recital situation, and then I just never talked to them again. So like I don't know if that counts either because like you're trying to do something like spontaneous, like a day situation, right? That's what you're talking about.
Just
and
like
I
a
don't
singular
think...
day, like you happen to be at the same event and you like really connect with a person.
No,
And then you
yeah, I
just,
don't
like-
think so. Oh, I actually did go to the same competition as you guys, but I didn't interact with anybody, so I didn't.
She didn't
really,
have her
like-
own Breakfast Club story.
No,
She went the
I
next year,
didn't.
and the 2001 people, man, like they just don't
Yeah,
carry
really.
on the same. They don't carry on the same
What is this
legacy.
slander? What is this
Yo.
slander?
Yeah.
What? Unprovoked. Jeez. I feel attacked. I don't
sorry.
think this is a safe space anymore. I'm gonna
I'm
leave.
sorry.
I'm just kidding.
No offense to anyone born in 2001, but full offense to Marina. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say full
Cowards.
offense to 2002.
Yeah, full offense to 2002.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I mean, like with a play, I feel like that happens pretty often. At least for me,
Oh, yeah.
like you do like a play and you're like really close with this group of people for like a couple months on end, and then afterwards it's like you still like talk to them sometimes, but it's never like the
same.
like,
It's not the same.
It's never the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of the thing with like whenever we make films sometimes, like when it's not just like us, but like when we have like other friends in our films and just like cast other people or even just random people, like when or just even random people, like you get really close with these people because you're working with them for like a couple days to like weeks on end, and then afterwards it's like you always have like respect for them and you always like have like a good relationship with them. You just like I don't know. I don't know what like prevents us from like being friends outside of like
I think it's like the
these
coworker
situations.
mentality.
yeah I
I
guess
think
I
it's
was
the
gonna say
coworker
that.
mentality. Yeah, like
Like-
it's like yeah.
No, you finished what you were gonna say, Marina.
Thank you. I was gonna say like it's like you're good in the like some form of it is slightly forced, like not that it's like 100% forced, but to an extent it is, because like you need to get along with this person in order for everything to go smoothly. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be nice the whole time. So even if you don't like fully like that person, you're still gonna be like you're gonna act like you're good with them, like it's fine. Like even if like and you could like that person, it's just that like afterwards you kind of like you realize that your relationship with them was mainly just transactional in a sense, because it was like, well, we have to get this done, so like now we're done, and it's like, well, I mean, I kind of did like you, but like I don't know if I like you enough to continue talking to you, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, well, we seem really close in the moment, but then afterwards it's kind of like, well, we can go our separate ways now, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like that happens a lot with like if I were to hang out with a group of my friends, like it happens a lot with mutuals. So like
Yeah, that's true.
like it's that energy. I feel like when you're all in a group of people and you're feeding off of everyone's energy, and then you're like, wow, you seem like a real cool person, I'd want to hang out with you. But then it's that like, oh, but we'd have to hang out with like our mutual friend because I don't know, would there be the same energy?
Yeah.
That's true. It's like I don't know, for me it's so weird because I just feel like it's so difficult for me because I just feel like when I'm friendly with someone or like when I make a connection, like usually 9 times out of 10 I like genuinely want to continue being friends with this person.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely like if I'm working in a group setting and I like and
You vibe
like,
with
or
someone?
a film, and then I vibe with like people. I vibe with someone, maybe even it's just a specific person, but maybe just like a group in general. Like I genuinely still want to like continue that, but one, I don't know if they want to, if they have like that coworker mentality, or two, I don't have the time to a lot of times, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the case. It's like even if I want to be friends with someone, like, do I have the time to like commit to being friends with
That's
them
true.
or like to talking to them? Because there are friends to this day, like who I consider like very close friends, but I don't talk to them that often.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, it like takes so much energy to make friends and like continue friendships, especially like their new friendships. It takes so much like mental, emotional, like energy to like be like, okay, I'm gonna text this person, we're gonna go hang out. But then I don't know if it's just me, but like I get like this anxious feeling in my chest when I'm like hanging out with someone for the first time, where I'm like, oh my god, do I even want to do this anymore? Like, do I even want to go see this person? Because I'm going to be perceived. They're going to perceive me. They're going to actually have to get to know me. We're going to have to actually try and like connect and have conversations. Like, it's just like the idea is like a little scary. But like, I mean, ultimately, like that's like if you get a friend, you get a friend. And that's like the best part of it. But like, it's just a little hard because like you have to push yourself out of that comfort zone and like have to maintain that friendship, which can be a little hard, you know?
That's true. I mean, like, obviously there's people that like that stand out from the rest and that you and eventually do carry on a relationship with afterwards. Like, for example, like the plays, the being in the same plays thing. That's basically how I'm still friends with Ethan and Marina.
Yeah.
Like that's how we met, and that's how we continued being friends. But I remember like even like Ethan, like when we didn't really become friends. Like friends like obviously we were friendly and like we were like friends but until like Pandora, maybe I think like post Pandora, because we were in 2 plays together and like we didn't really talk with each other outside of like the play. And then it wasn't until like we had Pandora and then we just like I think it was also just because I kept inviting you to do just more and more projects and I think we always made a joke. Like when we met Ryan and stuff, we made a joke that like man, we need to hang out with Ethan like when we're not filming something. We need to hang out with him normally.
Yeah. But it is like I think those projects are definitely what helped us click because like before Pandora, like you were in the IB program. And I wasn't, so like we didn't have classes together, and I feel like that's like another way that people get so close with one another is if they're in classes together, then they see each other almost every day, right? But because we didn't have that, like the play was the only way we could see each other, or working on those projects because outside of that, like we were probably busy with schoolwork and with other activities and whatnot. So
I
feel like that's probably like why people always kind of like their friendships with people that they've met in like elementary school or with like in high school and university, those will probably last the longest because they see them every day, right? Or almost every day. And it's never like, because with those classes and stuff, it's not really about like not having time because you're obligated to go see them once you go to study and whatnot. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why you stick so close to them.
It's true. Like I can't even remember like truly like I guess like the last friends I've made were like first year university, like my friend group and like my like and like basically in my classes. But like I feel like they're very like no offense to them, like I care about them all deeply and stuff, but they're very like school friends. Like they're I don't want to call them friends out of necessity. But
it's the coworker mentality.
But like they're very like school friends and like but I still talk to them, like I still have like I'm still friendly with them. I still talk with them outside of school and we hang out outside of school, like outside of school stuff. But there is like something that's like different for me, just like my friendships with my school friends versus like my friendships with like GOOSHLEMS like people. Like I feel like that's like my like core group, like closest friends. So I don't know.
It could be length of time that you've known us.
It could definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But
because it's been a longer time.
Yeah,
but
sure. I mean, yes, but I've been friends with them now for maybe like 3 years, and I would say Ryan, Ethan, Marina are more recent friends too, in terms of like life,
the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, in terms of the grand scheme of things. Ralph's just been in my life
Tell
the
him.
entire.
Tell him.
My entire life. Yeah, he's just been.
Bro, they say you're my day one. Ralph is like as close to day one.
Literally,
for real.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand. Same thing with me. Like, I love my school friends. They're all really great, but I don't feel the same kind of like connection or like need to like always be talking to them or like same kind of comfortability as I do with like, I don't know, like the rest of you guys and like my other friends that I have here from high school. So yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
Were you
really
gonna say something, Ryan?
I was gonna say, like, it's really like weird because like I think about this a lot, right? Like obviously the four of us are really tight, right?
Four?
There's 5.
4?
Well, I know. I'm not talking about Ethan. It's like
you murdered him.
I killed. No,
Well, he hit his knee.
You actually murdered him.
With all seriousness, I mean, like, it's weird because, like, I don't know if it's because we've known each other for a long time, but like, you look at school friends, and again, I love my school friends to death. But it dawned on me, like, recently, that, like, over the summer, I don't talk to them. Now, it's not to say I don't talk to everyone. But, like, it's weird feeling like, over the summer, instantly, you're like, well, like, when we ended, like, grade 11, Chris, it was literally, last day of school, alright, see you tomorrow. Or see you tonight, right? But I remember vividly on my last day of my first year, we finished an exam, I walked home with my friend, and I said, alright, man, see you in September. And it was like...
That's insane.
Sad.
That's so weird. And to be fair, he lives far away. But
Yeah,
it wasn't
I was
like, hey, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
It is vicinity because we all live in the same hometown.
That's true.
no,
I live
that's
in
true.
Chris's house. You see that?
He's actually
you see
in
that
my
door?
basement
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
no,
he
you see that door
opens the
behind?
door. Just
I
like,
know, he's right there.
He waves.
Well, Ethan's actually. If you look closely, Ethan's behind Marina's curtain there.
yeah. He's in there.
Makes sense.
Could you? How scary would that be if I did this?
I'm
and then
terrified.
That'd be the worst
That would
thing.
be
Didn't we do that once? Where someone was in their room and like their closet was just ajar, and we said like, "Oh, watch Ethan come out of that closet."
I think it
And
might
then
have been my closet.
he moved. It might have been your closet, and then Ethan got up and moved towards his closet, and like someone was like,
Yeah. No, but imagine my brother walked in or something, and like
That
as soon as he opened
Yeah,
it, that would have been.
"That's not
Insane.
unprecedented because your brother has walked
Yeah,
in."
he
He
during
has
the
walked
podcast.
in on the podcast. Yeah.
I like my favorite moment with someone walking in during the podcast is in the middle of our episode with David. Just randomly, he's like telling a story and he stops and goes, "Hold on a second." And he goes to the door and opens it and goes, "I'm doing the podcast." And he closes the door and walks back and goes, "Sorry, that was my mom calling me for dinner."
Yeah. Podcast
Anyway-
comes first, Mom.
Anyway, yeah, I think it's a vicinity thing. Because my friend who I had this conversation with, I don't live next door to him. Like, aside from Ethan, I'm within, especially Marina and Kris, I'm like within walking distance to your house,
Oh yeah.
right? Especially Marina. Marina's like a
Yeah, I
few
was gonna
streets
say,
over from me.
Yeah,
You're
I was like, it's
literally
like
a
more
few streets
Marina
over
than
from
me.
me.
I mean, and also if you're
Oh
walking
my-
distance from me, then you're walking distance from Ralph. So
That's true too.
Yeah.
With Ethan, I gotta like put on my hiking boots.
yeah.
Hey man, I'll walk 500 miles for you.
That's
Nice.
beautiful.
I'd walk like
Sick
430 for you guys. I don't know. 500. That's a lot.
Not going over 430.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I remember
But
really
yeah, no, like-
vividly.
Sorry,
Go
Marina,
ahead.
you go first. You go first.
This is really quickly. I remember really vividly last summer when like it was like peak pandemic and like there was like people just going on walks.
I know what you're gonna
because they
say.
Had nothing to do. Yeah. I literally I was outside, like I was literally on my driveway, and I look across my street and I just see Ryan, and I think his mom, and I was literally just so like, like I hadn't seen Ryan in so long, and also like I've never seen him in my neighborhood like ever. Like I've never seen him like literally in this vicinity.
What are you doing over here?
So it felt like my worlds were colliding, just him across the street, and I was like, "Hi," and he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I realized just how close he lives. So I was like, "Wow."
I'm literally like a 10-minute walk from your house.
Yeah, you really are.
It's
So-
wild. Like, it would take me, like, Chris's house, I'm like a 20-minute, I think, walk.
Yeah, roughly. Like maybe
That's
half an hour
same
if you're
with- yeah.
first.
Yeah, I feel like half an hour is more accurate.
Yeah, like
And then Ethan, I'm like several days away. Like I got to
Yeah.
camp.
You're about 3 to 4 business days away from mine.
Well, remember there was that episode a few months ago when we were talking about how like it was the episode with Brandon and Rachel on it, and we were talking about how like even though Ethan's like driving like 15 minutes, 10 minutes away by
10
car,
minutes away, yeah.
yeah, give or take if the lights go in there.
Yeah, depending on the
Yeah.
traffic lights.
Well, no, to be fair, Ethan's house is like near a highway. It's a
Yeah, it's
terrible
right by
drive.
the VW.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
we
I
were
shouldn't
saying
drop
like
that information.
I mean,
Ethan's
that's a very
address
long.
is-
It's a
Yeah,
long
that's
highway.
true.
So
That's true, that's
so,
true.
so
we
you're
were saying
good.
we were saying like even though Ethan's like 10 15 minutes away from us, his elementary school experience and like the trends and fads that hit his school were completely different from the trends that hit our like area.
It's a whole different, yeah.
It's like a
Whole
completely
zone
different
over
world.
there. Yeah.
So it circling back to the point of the conversation, it makes sense that like if you don't see someone every day, if you don't live near them, if you don't like walk by Marina's house on your daily walk, it bears to reason that you'll naturally lose contact. But Marina, you said earlier like it's almost like a job. Almost like if you're doing a project with someone, it's not a forced friendship. I mean, it is, but you have to work. You have to work with them, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be
Like,
friendly.
I-
shitty experience.
yeah.
A few summers ago, I was working that job at the town we live in,
Yeah.
and bro, I got so close with those people. Like I was like texting them every single day, or talking every single day. The second I leave that job, I haven't heard from like 99% of them.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
one of them I talk to still. It's one of those things. Anyway, that's my rambling.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's
It's messed up, man.
well, I think now we can move on to the Instagram
Oh,
questions.
geez.
Let's do it.
Yay.
All right. So, the first question is from Not Sky Kapoor. And they said, if you were on death row and you could have anything for your last meal, what would it be?
Chicken tender meal deal.
My first I don't know why my first thought was this, but maybe it's literally just because I'm craving it. Tiny Tom's donuts, even though it's not a
Oh.
meal. Those, specifically the powdered sugar ones. But if I were to get them and they were to be part of my last meal, usually you just get a dozen. I'd get like 100. Like I'd get like a shit ton of them. But I don't think that's my final answer. That was just my first thought. Okay, continue. What happened?
Ryan,
Alright.
Tocheri?
Yes, Ryan.
Yes,
Yes,
Ryan.
Ryan.
I have a question for Marina.
Yes.
Oh.
Are those the donuts that you get at Sobeys in the little clear containers?
No.
No.
You get them
Name
at
These
the
are
brand.
eggs.
so
That's
different
where I
than
remember
that.
getting them.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
What
do.
That's what I
donuts
was
are
wondering.
those?
Okay, please continue.
They're
Mari, I shit you not. When we were
Mhm.
talking about Woodbine
Bro, you're
earlier-
shitting right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. When we were talking
Right
about
now?
Woodbine earlier, for some reason in my mind, I was just constantly thinking about Tiny Tom's.
Wow.
donuts. So
Is it our minds? Our
Tiny
minds,
Tom in
Chris.
no, I don't know where it is.
It's
Why are you
in-
thinking about
There's one in
Woodbine?
Markham. There's one in Markham.
Markham.
That's
There's one in
like
Markham.
on the
only,
other side
is
of
that
the
the only
world.
location?
Other than Canada's Wonderland, I don't know.
Yeah, it's only
I-
at it's only in Markham, and then it's at I guess Canada's Wonderland, and then it's also at like the X.
Yes,
I
yeah,
think-
When
Yeah,
yes, CNE.
but that's not my final answer. That's just my first thought. So
Yeah, no, completely understandable because every time I go to CNE, like I always want.
I'm
I
getting
always
ripped
want those
tonight.
donuts.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's like the one thing I have to get.
Yeah, they're so
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
The
I
best
agree.
tiny donuts ever.
Actually, I was talking to Daniel from GOOSHLEMS Gaming,
ooh,
the American division,
the American
Um,
division.
the American division of GOOSHLEMS. And I was raving about Tiny Toms to him, and I sent him a picture. He's like, "Why are those donuts so small?" And I'm like, they're just
point.
mini donuts.
They're just
I'm like,
mini
that's the
donuts.
point. He's like, I'd rather just get like a normal sized donut. I'm like, no,
No,
I
no.
promise you, like this hits different.
It hits
than normal
different.
donuts.
Yeah.
Dumb question. Are these like, because I heard Sobeys got brought into this and nobody knows Sobeys better than I do.
Oh yeah, Sobeys.
Are these like, are these like the little like powdered ones, or are they like what are they?
So they're mini donuts, but like you can get different kinds of powder. So you can get like powdered sugar, you can get cinnamon, you can get apple cinnamon, you can get chocolate, like a bunch of stuff.
And then you put it in a bag, and then you shake it up with the powder.
Yes.
It's like you're making it yourself. It's part of the process.
Exactly.
Make it 10 times better.
And they're usually freshly made.
100%.
Like they literally have a conveyor belt of them like actually making them and then like putting them in the bag and stuff. So like yeah.
The ones from Sobeys are like the ones from the grocery stores that you get. Like don't even like they don't even compare. Like you can't
They
even
somehow
compare
get
them. They're
soggy.
completely.
Like they when I eat them, they're I don't know. Maybe I've just gotten a bad batch every time, but they're not great.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy
literally.
against Claudia buying these donuts. They run them underwater.
It's a completely different like Tiny Toms or just like those mini donuts in general are like top tier. Like
They're
donuts,
like the
okay?
best. Like if I could have those as like just regular donuts, like if I was just gonna go pick up donuts, I would just get that. Like, you know, like I would take them over regular donuts.
Yeah. And then like grocery store powdered donuts, they're like bottom. You know?
Yeah.
Bottom. Yeah.
Bottom tier.
Bottom
Here,
tier.
Chris, how do they compare to Kopp's donuts?
Oh, so they're like honestly, actually, okay. That's what I was thinking too of Kopp's Donuts. Kopp's Donuts. It's another mini donut place, also it's in downtown Toronto. I would say Kopp's Donuts is actually better than Tiny Tom's.
I've never tried this place, so you
Mario,
gotta.
you've never
this is
tried
a bold claim. This is a bold claim.
It is a bold
You
claim.
gotta take me there.
Kopp's Donuts is a magical. It's like a life-changing experience, bro. Like, Chris took me there, and it's first of all, it's down like an alley.
Oh wait, no, I remember the story. You have said this story before. I think on the podcast as well.
It's like in a sketchy alley, but then like the building itself, like it's like a 1-floor building, but like the building itself is just painted pink. So it's like a sketchy alley, and then you just like, oh, a pink building right there.
I
that's
would
what it
like
is.
to go.
It's...
Wait, what are yours like death row like?
Oh yeah.
Meals. Get back to the question. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta answer this question first.
It's also the first question, so like.
Oh, true.
No, that's true.
I don't know why, but my initial reaction was mint chocolate chip ice cream, which is funny because I don't like it that much.
Oh,
it's because it's the ice cream that I've been eating recently. Because my sister likes it, so I'm like, ice cream is ice cream. I'm gonna eat it anyways.
Okay.
But it's one of those ice creams where if I start eating it, like I will enjoy it, but it's not my first nor second, probably not my third choice either.
I 100% agree with you on that. I'm 100% on board with that thought.
But apparently that would be my last meal.
Yeah, I don't know why you would choose that as your last meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want your
Okay,
last meal to be something you just don't enjoy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that after. Sorry,
Ryan, go. I said let Ryan speak.
I was gonna say I want to talk about that after the podcast because I was thinking about that recently. I love mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Me too.
If I'm at the store, I will never buy mint chocolate chip ice
Me
cream.
too.
I will
Why?
never buy it.
Why? Because that's
I
also
don't
kinda
know.
the same with me.
That's the weirdest thing.
It's because
Like,
there's so
it's
many
really
better
good.
options.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so. Check out GOOSHLEMS 4 for Goosh Mythical More, and we're gonna talk about.
More.
I've been saying for years that we should make GOOSHLEMS 5 and just not acknowledge that there's no GOOSHLEMS 4.
Oh my god.
Anyway. I don't know what I would do for my meal. I think I would my immediate thought was high quality sushi,
That's
Like,
that's understandable.
non-grocery store sushi.
Like flown in from Japan type susushi.
Yeah. Like
No,
if we could
we wouldn't
beam it
be able
in.
to exchange spit then, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, I want my food to be baby birded to me, where someone goes.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Sheesh.
No, I think either that, or really, I don't think it would be it wouldn't be healthy, right?
Yeah, no, you're
You're
about
gonna
to
die.
die.
Why would it
Yeah,
be?
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
like-
Get
die
the
anyway.
greasiest shit possible.
After I get like electric chaired, I'm it's not my problem anymore.
I'm just gonna
It's
eat
someone
batteries
else's.
for my final meal. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you ever read those like weird last requests things? Like people
Yeah.
like they don't even ask for just food. There was the guy that wanted like a 4-course meal and he wanted to watch Lord of the Rings. And they let him do it.
Damn.
He ate
So
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
So this is what I would he ate the discs.
Yeah.
So this is what I would do. I would ask for like all my favorite foods. One guy asked for like a 6-course meal and they made it for him and then they gave it to him and he just went, I'm not hungry.
Nice.
And that was his ultimate like
Oh my
screw you, right?
God.
I would do like a pizza or something, like a really good one.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking like Delicio, we're talking like like Pizza Nova. Or
Italia.
something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Slight level higher.
Italiano.
And then my second course would be the burgers, the smash burgers we made at Chris's house
Oh, yeah.
that are half raw. And finally, for my final, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Nice.
But I
yeah,
wouldn't
okay.
eat it because it's not my first choice.
Nice.
Okay, Ralph, go.
Fried chicken. Some fried chicken. I don't know. Popeyes, whatever. Chicken tenders. And sticking with the theme of ice cream, I want some red velvet ice cream from Marble Slab.
Ooh.
what-
Red velvet ice cream? That's a thing?
Yeah.
It's
Of
good.
I
That's
love
real
Red
Marble
good.
Slab it is, apparently.
I know where I'm
Yeah.
going after this podcast.
It's hot, man. I need
He's
some
like,
ice
okay,
cream.
guys, I gotta leave.
Yeah,
I found out about this place.
I got an appointment with ice cream.
Yeah.
Can I add something super duper quick?
What?
Yes. Yes.
Did anyone else not know that red velvet is just chocolate with red food coloring?
I
It
didn't find
is
that out
with a
until
little bit of
literally a
vanilla.
I
couple
did know
days ago.
that.
There's a bit of
What?
vanilla in it. There's a little bit of vanilla. It's not just chocolate. It has a bit of vanilla.
So
Wait,
that
that's
makes
all
sense
red
why
velvet is?
That makes sense why I like red velvet, but I don't
Pretty
like red velvet icing.
Same. I'm the exact same.
Red velvet?
Icing is cream cheese.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
like
cream
I don't like
cheese.
cream
Cream
cheese
cheese
icing.
as
You
icing.
don't like cream cheese?
No, I don't like cream cheese
as an icing. It's
So
it's
first
not-
it was the donut. Sorry.
First of all,
Oh no.
Yeah.
no. Well, we'll talk about that later.
For the
After
50th
Ethan-
episode, it's just
after
going to be a
Ethan tells
2-hour debate on donuts.
After Ethan tells his thing. His last
Originally, I was gonna say what Ryan brought up, where I was like, I'm gonna get all this food and then just not eat it, just as like a fuck you. No, but I think what I'd rather do is I want to freak the guards out before I go. Like maybe they don't know like why I'm on death row, so I'd be like, yeah, I want a Bible for my last meal, and then like they probably won't be in the room like the whole time. Whenever they look in, I'll look out for them, and whenever they're looking at me, I'll just make sure to eat pages from this Bible, just so that they know I'm like the real deal. I won't actually eat it though. And yeah, just
Ethan's
to
on
freak
death
him
row
out.
for tax evasion.
Yeah, man, this
once-
guy must have done some serious shit, and I'm like, nah, man, I just didn't want to pay my taxes.
Every time
Zero.
Ethan has an opportunity to pass away, he always chooses to do the most outlandish things.
And I love it.
Hey,
I love
yeah.
you.
You gotta
I love
be remembered.
Ethan.
Oh,
like if he had 20 minutes to live, he just run naked in the street with cops
Yeah.
chasing him.
wouldn't that
I
be the
can-
best
Just
way
do
to
that
go,
in
though?
general.
Yeah, I do that. Even if I wasn't dying, I'd like to just do that once in my life.
I'm doing that after
I
the
love it.
podcast is done.
Yeah.
on his
Right?
way to the ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
on
be running down
Burning
the
Ice
street,
Cream.
my red velvet ice cream, just like 5 stars on GTA with
Yeah.
people running after me. I'm gonna get tackled and I'm still gonna be like trying to eat this ice cream.
For me, it would depend on what I'm craving. That's all I'm gonna
True.
say.
That's
Like,
fair.
cause I could have, like, sure I could choose my favorite food, but what if I'm not craving my favorite food? That's why
true.
I can't really have a favorite food because it all depends on like whatever I'm craving at that point. So,
Chris, I'd get Summit Garden.
yeah, dude.
Yo, didn't we
Big
see
brain.
Ryan at Summit Garden one time?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
That was crazy.
Summit Garden is a Chinese restaurant in I don't know where
It's
it is now.
Border of Mississauga
Yeah.
and Oakville. It's technically in Mississauga.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Mississauga.
Cool. Yeah. But me and Ralph went there with like my mom and like just like our family, and Ryan used to wear like this bright
That jacket, bro.
this bright like blue and yellow jacket, like
blue,
winter
yellow,
coat.
and white. You could see
blue,
me in a
yellow,
crowd.
Yeah. So I would love that jacket. I love that jacket, by the way, because Ryan would walk to school, and every time my mom drove me and Ralph to school, like I would see Ryan from like so far because I would just see the jacket. So imagine my surprise, mine and Ralph's surprise, as we walk into this restaurant, and then we see the jacket, and it's like, that's Ryan's jacket, Ryan. But yeah, and this was like early. This was early Ryan friendship too. So
yeah,
it was
really early too. It was like we were only friends for like a few months at that point.
Yeah.
Damn.
When I got rid of that jacket, the first thing Ralph said was, "Bro, we'll never be able to find you now."
Real. It was like a daily thing. We'd be like, "Oh, hey, it's Ryan walking to school," like every single day. You know. So, that was missed.
Now I'm just generic guy number 47.
he wears a black jacket now. It's like, where is he?
That's why I dyed my hair.
Yeah.
Actually, wait.
Before we move on to the second question, I just want to ask Claudia, what are your thoughts on old-fashioned plain donuts from Tim Hortons?
Oh my
goodness. Okay, so I listened to this episode recently. Okay, so here's the sitch. So I have a peanut allergy.
I like where this is going. Oh. Sorry.
I have a peanut allergy.
I was like...
So, I only ever had the vanilla dip donut from Tim Hortons, and that was before we were like, okay, we need to make sure that we don't eat peanuts. So then we stopped eating donuts anywhere. So I don't think I've ever had it, and I've only had the vanilla dip one. But I mean, go live your best life. If you like it, go for it.
That's fair. No opinion. I'll accept that.
I don't know if it should be someone's favorite donut, just because I feel like it's a mint ice cream situation where there are better ones out there. But
there's definitely
I
agree. Listen, if I wanted to eat a loaf of bread, I would get one from the grocery store. If I'm going to a donut shop, I'm gonna get a donut.
If anything,
that's my opinion.
That was harsh, Ethan. That was harsh.
I'm just saying, man.
No, I'm sorry. But this whole thing is technically a diss towards Tim Hortons donuts in general.
That's
because
true.
I think Tim Hortons donuts are so low tier that if the old-fashioned plain one is my favorite, like old-fashioned plain donut isn't even my favorite donut in general. It's just my favorite of the Tim Hortons donuts.
Oh my god.
So, because I genuinely do not like any of the other Tim Hortons donuts, and that's.
I feel like that's a diss on Tim Hortons.
That is a diss on Tim Hortons. It's a diss on Tim Hortons.
Yeah. To be honest, they don't really have that great of donuts, but I still really like the honey cruller. That's still my favorite from there.
Honey
but I don't actively
like my third choice.
Fair. I mean, like, I just don't actively go to Tim's and get donuts. You know, like I don't really like. I don't even actively go to Tim's in general, if I'm being honest. Yeah. So.
Well, as we got that out of the way, every time we bring a guest, I should just like ask that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
We need to start a poll. We need to.
That's like our trademark at this point.
Also from Not Sky Kapoor, what film or film franchise has the best score? Ooh. Must be written for the film specifically, so not like a soundtrack.
So I can't say all of Studio Ghibli, because I would say all of Studio Ghibli.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And How to Train Your Dragon. I actually really love the score in that. It's super
John
good.
Powell, bro.
I can't think of anything, to be honest. The only music that sticks with me is the Super
Musicals?
Mario Galaxy music.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Star Wars has got to be mentioned, like John Williams.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's like pretty iconic.
Yo,
that's
the Mandalorian
answer,
theme.
though.
Harry Potter theme song.
Oh, Harry Potter,
yeah.
Come on.
That was John Williams too.
Oh.
Damn.
The dude just
producer.
The dude just masterpieces everywhere.
Yeah.
I heard something recently. I don't know if it's legit, but apparently this is really quick. Apparently the Quidditch music from the first Harry Potter was meant for Attack of the Clones.
Oh.
And he thought it worked better in Harry Potter or something.
Interesting. Oh yeah, because they were probably working on those at the same time, eh?
Yeah, they were a year apart.
They came out, yeah. Huh, interesting.
The Dark Knight Rise. Is that the one with... That's the one with Heath Ledger, Joker, right?
No,
Dark
This is
Knight.
Dark Knight.
That is the Dark Knight, yeah. The music there was really good. Hans Zimmer is really good, so...
Oh, yes!
I honestly don't
How did I
remember.
forget?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer in general, like, he makes really good soundtracks for movies, so...
That's true. I do like Hans Zimmer as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Pandora soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I take it back. Oswald.
Oh, the one
Dun.
that was me. That was me.
Dun,
I
dun.
made that with pressing my iPad a couple times on the piano on GarageBand. Well, next question from Hanan, frequent question asker. She said, "I'm assuming this is for Claudia, and I don't know how she's gonna answer it. Who's your favorite Goosh?
Ooh.
Pick a favorite."
Ooh. I don't think. Ooh.
There is no favorite.
I don't
hate
like
you
any
all
of them.
equally.
I don't know why I'm here.
Exactly.
I feel like it'd have to be Kris just because he's the one who invited me on, but you all seem like very cool people.
Yay.
Thanks,
Good
Claudia.
Good answer.
Am I hired yet? Can I?
Yeah, no,
Good thing.
you just ruined it right there.
Yeah.
The correct answer was all of us.
Yeah.
Also from Hanan, she also asks, funniest memory with the Goosh crew. I don't think she knows that we don't have a lot of memories together.
What do you mean?
No, like from Claudia.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It's like it'd have to be, like
one of the
30
three that we
minutes
talked
ago.
about on the
Yeah.
30 minutes ago when we discussed Woodbine Mall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like this would be a highlight for sure. This would be up there.
100%.
Oh yes. Nice.
I think so. Final question from your sister, Claudia. She said, if you could be a cross between two animals, what would they be and why?
This is funny because we recorded an episode yesterday, and we were talking. I don't remember what we were talking about, but this question came up because we were talking about interview questions and like just stupid interview questions. So this came up. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested as to what your answers are.
Mm.
I immediately had an answer for this. Well, it's literally just because I want to fly, so definitely a bird. So probably an eagle, probably the biggest. I think there's something called a golden eagle. Actually, I think it's from the Philippines. But the biggest wingspan possible because I want to be crossed with a wolf. I love wolves. So I feel like a wolf eagle combination would be really cool because basically it would just be some sort of cool wolf that could fly situation, and I think that's kind of badass. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
On all levels.
Except physical. I am a wolf.
Oh, yeah.
This is just me coming out as a furry, guys. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, congrats.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks. Oh my god,
I support you 100%.
I'll show you my persona. I'm just in the Goosh mythical Moor.
Oh, not Goosh mythical Moor. Oh.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have an answer? I'm genuinely trying to think. This is
It's gonna feel like I'm piggybacking, but go ahead, Ryan.
No, Ralph, go first.
I was just gonna say lion and eagle, because flying. This sounds like I'm copying Marina's,
We got
but
this.
you know.
We got it.
No, but you got.
No, we just have.
Yeah, the flying is
It's
priority.
imperative.
And then the
Yes.
lion part will be my main self. I just got wings.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
See,
You just gotta be
like a
a friend
griffin.
yourself. So, sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
like a griffin.
Oh yeah, like what I said last week, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. That's literally.
So
I knew my answer before I even came on here because I looked at the questions.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Ready? Hear
look
me
at
out.
You.
Hear me out. A person and a horse.
Oh, yes.
Centaur.
What would you call yourself, Ryan?
Preferably, I would call myself a centaur.
Yes.
Or hear me out. Just a person with horse legs,
Okay.
which is technically called a fawn. But
It is.
imagine how fast I could run.
You'd be like the guy from Narnia. James
Yeah,
McAvoy
exactly.
from
He was
Narnia.
he was a fawn.
He was
a
yeah.
satyr.
Miss
Wasn't he a satyr?
Yeah, he's
They're
a
the same thing.
Yeah,
No,
same.
satyrs are goats.
Yeah, he
Oh,
is
that's
a goat.
true.
He's half
Yeah.
goat.
It's half.
He's got the
goats.
horns and everything.
Do y'all know?
What was his
Chris,
name?
I'm
Mr.
disappointed
Tutter
in
or
you.
something?
Mr. Thompson.
They're
Thomas.
basically
Mr.
the
Thompson.
same thing.
But Chris,
Wait,
there's
look.
satyrs in Percy Jackson.
I know.
Look
That's
what's
why I
above my
chose
desk.
that. Wait, what is he?
Wait,
doing?
what is Ryan grabbing?
I think he's showing us his
He's
hooves.
gonna reveal himself as a horse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up my. No feet pics here, not for free.
No hoof.
No
No
hooves
hoof
confidence.
pics here.
Yeah.
I have with
Guys,
me
go back a couple
copy
episodes. You'll find.
of The Lion, the
Oh.
Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh,
wow.
Let us see
Very nice.
what Mr. Thompson is.
That's a hot commodity.
Look at that vintage cover.
Jeez.
I think what year is this publication from? Let's see.
Yeah, that's a
1970.
Twilight
old cover.
1970 in pristine condition,
Wow.
and now we're gonna crack the spine.
Just,
No, but isn't it Mr. Thomas? It's Mr. Thomas, not Mr.
Thomas.
Thompson.
I thought it was Thompson.
'Cause-
I can't even remember.
When I was a kid, Mr. Tumnus.
Tumnus. Okay.
I've been. Edmund spoke, or how flushed with strange his face was. I've been having lunch with my dear friend Mr. Tumnus, the fawn.
Oh, there it is.
I'm so
He's a
impressed how fast you
fawn.
found that.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
actually
that's
real.
kind of
Yeah, you wanna
crazy.
see?
Wow.
No, we
He,
see
I
people
cannot
he
reading.
had it open
Yeah,
before
we
this episode
believe
even
it.
started.
Yeah, he knew.
Dude's a-
He knew.
How
For-
interesting.
For our 50th episode, can we just have Ryan read the entirety of Narnia?
Yeah.
Just like, no, like uncut,
Yeah.
unrated.
And we're
No,
just
We
sitting
honestly-
all
there
sit
like,
here in silence. Yeah,
We're
we all
just
just
sitting
Yeah,
like-
just you all sit dead silent, and I go, Chapter 1. Lucy looks into a wardrobe. Once there were 4 children whose names were Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. This
We're all just
story
like-
was something that happened to them. Shut the fuck up, Ethan.
By the time that book is done, the accent's gonna be gone. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah,
retired.
right. By the end, I'm going, and this is the way they're, and this is the very end of their adventures in Narnia. But if the professor was right, it was the only beginning of the adventures, the end. Anyway, thanks for 50 episodes.
You're gonna do the thing where like you have to go back because like you've been reading the same sentence over and over and it's just not sticking in your mind. You just
You know, if someone makes a comment about the story, I'm like, oh, I gotta go back to the beginning of the chapter.
yeah.
It's like 8 hours long. When I was a kid, this is what I would do.
Oh. Oh.
This is one of the first books I've ever read.
Okay.
Do you want to know how I read this 200-page book when I was 6?
How?
I would read the first line, and then I would read the last line,
No.
and then wait. Oh, Marina, you think that's bad? I would read the top, bottom, and then I'd turn the page, and I would read the top. I would read the bottom, and I'd turn the page.
Oh,
So
you wouldn't even
when
read
I
the
got-
second page.
So when I got to the second book, which is
Oh,
Prince
God,
Caspian,
Oh my god.
Bruh.
I
Damn.
remember once I was in the car and my grandma was there, and I said, "Grandma, can you read Prince Caspian to me?" And of course, I had the book. I had a bookmark because I'm not an animal. And my grandma opens it, and she goes, "Yes, Ryan, of course." And she goes, "Instead of getting drowsier, she was getting more awake. The creek was going brighter." And I went, "What creek?"
There's never a creek.
That wasn't in one of the
I'm si-
top or bottom
I'm
sentences.
Yeah.
The creek was never mentioned in the top and bottom sentences. And then I finished the book, and I tell my mom I finished it, and she goes, "What was the book about?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Prince Caspian, I guess."
Yeah, his name's on the cover.
Yeah, his
It
name's
must
on
be
the
in there
cover.
somewhere.
That's it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ethan, do you have an answer? I'm still thinking of mine.
Oh yeah, no. Have y'all seen Spy Kids?
Yeah.
Y'all
Very long
remember the
time ago.
second? Y'all remember the second movie where they like go to that island and there's all those like weird like creatures on it, and there's
Yeah.
like the legitimate spider monkeys. Like I'm not talking just like the name, like they're half
Bro,
monkey, half spider. That's
I thought
me.
you were. I thought you were talking about the thumbs, dude.
So was I. I'm like, me
okay.
too. I would be a thumb.
Okay, so let me change my answer. Half thumb, half spider. And then that way, oh man, nobody's going to want to be my friend after that. Because I'm just going to be like walking around as a thumb with 8 oh god.
Oh my god.
no.
But they're also
I'm
going
not
to
making
be
it past
thumbs.
the
Like they're
first
going to be
day.
tiny
The military's
thumbs.
going to be on me.
Yeah, they...
Doug Ford's going to be like, yeah, we have a situation. We've called in the troops. I'm gonna be running around. I'm gonna be running around Toronto. People are gonna be screaming when they see me.
With your
It's
red
gonna be
velvet ice
great.
cream.
Yeah, naked.
Yeah.
With your red velvet ice cream. Yes.
With one of my like long spider legs, I'm just gonna grab a handful of red velvet ice cream as I'm running down the road.
Yes.
As
We
I'm
need someone to
evading
animate
capture
this.
from the military.
I really need someone to animate all this. I really think it.
GOOSHLEMS animated.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna... Claudia, do you have an answer? I'm gonna keep passing it on until I come up with one.
I loved cheetahs when I was younger. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason was. So I feel like I would be a cheetah, and then I'd be, I'd be like an insect. So I'd be really small, but I'd be super fast as well. I'd be a fly. So I could fly. I was super small, but I was also super fast.
Oh wow.
That's
I don't
my
like the
final
idea of a
answer.
super fast bug. That freaks me out.
But it's just a cheetah with wings, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
So it's like a little
Okay,
kitty
don't
cat.
touch
cheetah with
scarier.
wings.
I'm gonna see a cheetah on my wall, and then it's just gonna fly into my face. And
Really fast though, in like a split second.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like the lizard on your wall, Ethan.
It's like
Yeah.
a lizard.
It's over there now.
Okay. I think I would
Finally.
also choose something with wings. I don't know
Yes.
what, but I think the other half would be a dog, just because I like
Aw.
dogs.
You
Dogs
can
are
choose a
cool.
bird. You can do a bird.
Yeah.
Like another kind
Just
of
a-
bird.
Just a flying dog. Yeah, I could. I mean, I don't know what birds exist.
You
I
should
don't
be
know,
a
like
pigeon,
a hawk.
so that
A pigeon.
as a dog, your neck would be able to like move like a pigeon.
Oh,
I love that.
That'd be weird. People are like, look at that dog.
Yeah, you're just like
Oh, jeez. Let's go the other way.
we
I hate
all
birds.
like half of us said we would want to be half bird, but then that means Ryan would be terrified of us.
Oh, do you not
yeah.
like birds?
I hate birds. Oh my god.
Oh
like,
wow.
Alfred Hitchcock really brought it to you, eh?
This is not even. I've never seen the birds. I don't think I'd be scared of it because I've seen like bits of it. I don't. It's not that. I don't know what it is, but like I've been on like dates before, and we've walked past like a bird just walking towards us, and I've like grabbed them. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Really?
Like I was with. I remember I was with my grandmother once, and I was like freaking out. But I remember specifically I was seeing someone, and we're walking, and a bird comes towards like pigeon, whatever, dove. I forgot what it was, walking towards us, and I forget it. I grabbed her arm, and I like hid my face in her shoulder, like shaking.
Damn.
I can't do birds. I cannot do birds. So
He's about to throw
International-
Yeah, I was about to say, just like, cannot do birds.
yeah,
up. Just thinking about birds.
International Bird Day, the day to commemorate birds, is January 5th.
January
Isn't
5th
that-
is Ryan.
I
Taylor's
didn't even know
birthday.
that was a real
Oh
thing.
That's my
International
God.
Bird Day.
Yeah, and I didn't know until like like every day is a holiday according to like the holiday website. I was like, oh, I wonder what day I have. Google, horrified.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I couldn't get like hugging day or snuggling day or something, or like evade your taxes day. I got bird day.
Evade your time.
Anyways.
What day is that? I'm asking a friend.
That's actually January 18th.
Ah, fuck. Okay, well, I'll see you guys next year.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Well, that was fun, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back. We are back. Who were we? I was Kristoffer Bradley Cruz. That is my name.
I was Ralph. Ramos.
I was Ryan the Centaur.
I was Ethan the spider thumb monkey thing.
I was Marina the wolf eagle. That's wow.
Yeah. The Weagle.
That's what it is. The Weagle.
The Weagle.
I was Claudia, the tiny flying cheetah.
Nice.
Thank
this
you
sounds
so
like
much
Pop
again.
Tropica. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say thank you so much again, Claudia, for coming on.
Thanks
to
for
this
having
podcast.
me. This
Yeah,
was
thank
fun.
you.
Yes, it was very fun. I hope to play some Minecraft Bed Wars with
I was
you
just
soon.
about to say that. Like this,
Yeah.
this isn't the last you're hearing me.
Yeah, so we'll actually talk more than just like once a year now.
Once a year.
Yeah, but I wanted to save it for after this podcast. That's why I haven't asked you
Yes.
recently. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll be back. Next episode, Ralph will be hosting.
Yay.
Episode 49.
Let's go.
49, bro.
Let's go.
And then after that, we'll hit 50 episodes
Woo!
with Mr. Ryan Tocheri. So I don't know if he's gonna plan anything special.
It's gonna be a party.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
What do you mean? He's
I've
gonna
been-
be reading a book. I don't know why you're.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
reading, yeah, join us for a
Already
reading
forgot.
of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but only the first and last lines of each page. No, I've been talking to a guest, who's really interesting. We've actually mentioned them on the podcast, and they're not a friend.
William Shatner.
They're someone I've reached out to, so hopefully we can work something out for the 50th, but we'll...
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. See you then.
And then
William Shatner.
Ralph's sitting here like, yeah.
Could you imagine we come on for the next podcast and it's just like, yeah, we gotta wait for the guest to arrive. Drake just fucking pops his head. It's like,
I was-
oh, hi, Drake.
This is terrible, and it's directed at Marina. There's a video of Tom Hiddleston like on a Zoom call, and I was like, how messed up would it be if I was like, I don't tell them the guest, but I download that video, and on my phone I set it as my background, and then just a video of Tom Hiddleston on a Zoom call pops
That would
up.
be fun.
I would walk the 5 minutes to your house with my
I
mask
know.
on and gloves and strangle you myself.
From a safe
Imagine
distance.
how
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's using the force. No, she'll get
was-
like one of those like grabber like things.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I would just like,
Oh my.
Oh,
Big
there it is.
reveal.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, that'll
Yes.
Okay, so she's gonna go to Claudia's house first,
Yeah.
and
Pick
then
up the-
come to
And
my
then
place.
come back.
Yeah, to pick up the grabber, you got to.
Awesome.
Well, that would you shouldn't have told us that. You should have
You
just
should-
done it.
and I would have been
No,
enraged, but thank you. You saved me the pain.
No, you
so.
would have been happy because Tom Hiddleston.
And then
my
you would have been
God,
enraged.
Chris, don't make me walk the 20 minutes, the 30 minutes to your
the
house.
20 minutes to my house.
Right.
Oh. No, I'll escape to Ethan's house, so you'll have to walk for like an hour and a half or something.
I'm
Bro, if you
closer
go
to
to Ethan's house,
Ethan's
you
than
gotta-
yours.
This man's
Yeah,
got to
I
get like his passport to go to Ethan's house. He's so
Yeah.
far away compared to us.
It's a whole other country. Yeah, you gotta take
You're
a
really-
plane.
Anyways, yes, thank y'all so much for watching / listening, and we'll be back soon. Bye bye.
Oh yeah. Bye.
See ya.